Today we're talking about goal setting, we're talking about slowing down to speed up, we're talking about looking backward to move forward, and how that applies to goal setting. So what's up, Haley?
What's up, Ryan? Well, yeah, it's always the great time going into the new year, especially after a full moon. You know, what are we shedding? What are we getting rid of?
We have purged and now we're welcoming in.
So sometimes, you know, you do have to do addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are things, or what are you not doing? What have you been sitting on the past couple months that you've been wanting to do that you haven't been doing? But, you know, going into a new year, it's not trying to rewrite all new systems, new coding. I'm going to totally switch my business plan. Like you said, we got to look back and see where did we get our last couple of deals from? Where did they come from? How are we getting referrals out of those people? For us, it's where did our last deals come from our agents? Mm-hmm. How are we getting referrals out of them? How are we helping them get more deals on the board so we can get those more title orders? So it's kind of doing that audit of where did your business come from? What have we done? And then when we get into the goal setting, you can take that template, put those into your goals of what you need to do, what you need to get rid of, and then assign metrics to that.
I mean, I think about things like success leaves clues, right? Or the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior.
Right.
So when you take a look and see what sources, you look at every piece of business you had this year, and you source them, and then you're going to find trends. Mm-hmm. You're going to find like things that maybe you were aware of or weren't. And so you look at the past, you don't have to stare at it and live there, but it gives you an indication of how to plan out your future. So if you had trust attorneys that were responsible for 5 of your listings, well, that's a big red light on the dashboard of like, pay attention and maybe get some more trust attorneys. If it was all sphere of influence and every shred of your business was referrals, buyers, investments, and listings, then we've got to really hunker down and make sure our systems are tight, airtight on our sphere of influence and our referral partners, right?
Right.
If it was all open houses and circle prospecting, that's the thing. We have to look so we know what was I good at.
Exactly.
And how do I scale that up and make sure I'm accounting for it when I go forward and look at 2026 and start doing some business planning?
Well, it's kind of like we've talked about this so many times. We can get from California to New York without a plan, and we can probably eventually get there at some point. Yeah. But I might end up at Canada. I might be seeing a border crossing at one point. Like, I might be ending up in the middle of who knows what.
How do I get to Oaxaca?
Yeah, like what? Figuring all this out. So that's really what the time audit consists of. So it gives you a look back on where did you spend your time? Mm-hmm. Where were you able to advance in your roadmap to get where you want to go? Where were you maybe wasting some time and seeing like maybe we were paying for ads on a certain platform that weren't really paying out, and we're like, maybe we could get rid of that. You know, we have to look at where everything is going. Just like not just our time, our budget, because that's a huge part of marketing for us, for a lot of people. Where is our money being allocated to the marketing? So sometimes on that, we might have to pull back and be like, ooh, this didn't work here, but maybe I could try Slide Broadcast if we haven't incorporated that and utilize that for some more marketing dollars.
Absolutely.
So you have to be able to do the time audit, look back, see where your money's been spent, see where your activities and time, which we know time is money too. So where has your time been spent? And then seeing where those deals have came from, seeing where we could maybe squeeze a little more time out of our day. Because, I mean, if average people will go average work like 6-hour days, 7-hour days, you know?
Sure.
Maybe get actually an hour of productive, 2 hours of productive, solid workout.
Well, I mean, I can do so much and feel busy. I can be in my inbox answering emails. I can be at a lunch and learn or a happy hour, and I worked, right?
Yeah.
I went to talk to other realtors, and that feels busy. But maybe some of those could be excluded, and you could be walking neighborhoods. You could be holding open houses. You could be on the phone checking in with people from your Instagram that you know but haven't talked to in a while. Like, there's better uses of our time.
So maybe being like more intentional with where our time is being
spent
and looking at it.
That's a great word. Intentional. Set an intention, right? So, but if I have to know what I'm good at or where I've succeeded, so that moving forward I can set my intentions and then my actions. Because all the intention in the world doesn't do jack until the rubber hits the road and you start taking action.
Exactly.
So now I need to know what worked for me to know what's gonna work for me. At least have a good clue at it, and then I build my actions around those things. So it's pretty simple, but yet it's profound because it doesn't mean it's easy. The concept is simple. This worked for me in 25, probably some of that's going to work for me in 26, yet so few of us take the time to do that. So what we're saying is look back at 2025, audit your deals, and say this came from this place, and this place, and this place, and then notice trends. And then when you see clusters of deals that came from the same sources, build mechanisms around those sources so that you're hammering them in 2026. And then maybe add another vertical or two, but definitely honor the ones that paid you this year, because they're going to pay you again next year if you stay there. And then you can ratchet on and tweak from that foundation.
And at least you have the foundation built, right? Exactly. You have to build the foundation before you build the house. Like, that has to be built first.
Right, I don't care how nice the roof is, if there's no foundation, it's coming down.
Yeah, we're not putting the house on. So, and then when you assign metrics to it, kind of that's what we're talking about when you see like, oh, I knocked it out of the park with open houses. Maybe I should add a couple more open houses to the calendar this year and add some more marketing on how to really ramp up those open houses. That's another vertical where you could just add in some more stuff to really ramp up that open house experience. But assigning the metric to it is huge because you have to have a number assigned to it, or at least have the plan of this is what I'm going to hit. And when we talk to a lot of our clients, it's, you know, we use the analogy, we got to make it SMART goals. We have to have it specific, we have to have it measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, right? I think, did I miss anything?
I think you got it.
I got it. Whoa, that was quick.
On a Friday, no less.
But we have to say, you know, if you're like, I know calls have worked. Every time I've sat down and made calls, I've gotten conversations or deals out of it, but I don't do it consistently. How often do we hear that?
So often. Almost every meeting.
Almost every meeting. Like, I know calls do work, I just haven't done them consistently. So maybe when we're thinking of our goals or our metrics and things we can start hitting, we're not saying add in 4 hours of calls 4 days a week and run into the 8 freeway by the 3 weeks into it. But maybe you say, okay, if I know calls work, I've gotten conversations out of them, we have to see 3 times a week, 90 minutes maybe. And it could be follow-up calls, open house lead calls, we can help come up with that plan.
Just start, right? Start with something. 30 minutes 3 times a week turns into 3 hours a week, turns into who knows. As you experience success, it'll be easier.
And if we hear calls don't work, we definitely gotta talk.
Well, I like what you said because it's great. Okay, Ryan, I did an audit, I see where my deals came from, and now I'm setting up these goals and I'm building a business plan based on action and effort, not on result, right? Because so many people say, well, I want to make this much, so they back it into how many deals they have to do, but they don't talk about all the things that are going to get them to the conversations that lead to the opportunities that lead them to the deals, right? So I want an activity-based business plan for us is how we do it, recommended. So now I have these activities, here's what I'm going to do. Okay, now my next question is, where does that live in your calendar? Because I can have all the good intention in the world, but if it doesn't show up on my calendar, it likely is not getting done, right? And then when that little notification pops up, hey, 30 minutes lead generation, and that could be DMing, texting, calls, whatever. Do that, right? And then honor your calendar, because that's the way to squeeze more drops of effectiveness and productivity out of your day is time blocking. And it's really hard, and we're all humans, and we're so distracted with all the fire hose of information, the TV, the social media, all the notifications. So you've got to zone in and get deep work done on your lead generation. If you do that, most everything else will take care of itself because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's got a bag of listings that they're going to bring in. It just doesn't happen that way. The work is the work.
There's no really ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't escape it. But talk about foundation, like that is time blocking. Really, that's one of the foundational things of our business plan. And having the plan also allows you to know when you're going to drift off course. When we start to drift a little, we can say, oh shoot, we're drifting a little bit. We can bring it back on course. But it's when we start to drift and we don't have the plan and it turns into 2 days, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, I haven't been doing anything in my plan for the past 4 weeks.
You have no North Star. You have no way to know you're spinning.
And now, just like talking about our plan getting from San Diego to New York, we're all the way like going to Antarctica and some different Indian Ocean, and we're like, I don't think that Indian Ocean is by Antarctica at all.
We're in Japan somehow. Across the Pacific.
I didn't know there was going to be a geography test that I was coming up with.
I was told there'd be no map.
I'm coming up with this on my own. But
the Arctic Sea.
The Arctic Sea.
I think it's up there.
I'm sure I would think so.
You get it. We're bumping into Canada. We're bumping into Mexico. Where you could more efficiently do it by, I don't know, putting it in your navigation, going straight to New York.
Well, and you can also remind yourself too, because you know when you start to drift, when you have a plan and it's written down, and you're like, oh, because you innately have that feeling of like, man, I drift off my plan. It's like the gym when we start. 1st January, the gym is packed, everybody's ready, and then it falls out. But we're humans, that happens, and that's usually 99% of people. So
you know the best part of having a plan, Haley, is that let's say we have that plan to New York and we're going through Oklahoma and we want to just have a little side view and go into Zion Canyon real quick, right?
Sure.
So we want to take a detour. When you have it all planned out, then you can plan diversions off of that plan, like vacations, 3-day weekends, time off, which is a foreign concept to many of us in the real estate space, right? So if you map things out, then you can map in fun. You can map in no brain time. I'm gonna put my ass in the sand and have no brain for a week. Dude, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But plan that out, because the more regimented you are, it's like Jocko Willink, right? Discipline equals freedom. A tiny bit of discipline will give you so much freedom.
Oh my gosh.
Just knock the stuff out that you gotta knock out, and your day opens up, and then your life opens up, and you're not constantly under the thumb of this pressure of production. I gotta do this, and then you got 17 things that you gotta do, and you don't know where to start, and then you just are paralyzed.
Yeah.
You're paralyzed.
Maybe that could be a goal. Add in a little time off this year.
Yeah.
You know, because we never dim up. I think it's Tim Grover. He talks about people like us, high drivers, high business people. They never turn their light off all the way. It never goes from like 100 to 0, because we're always pretty much going like between 85 and 100, and it never goes to 0. We never fully shut off. If we're out on a vacation or we're usually reading a book that's helping us. We're usually spending more time with our family, which in all makes us better people and better business people. We're usually in some kind of mode of thinking of, how can we do something better? I know when I'm on vacation and I'm on the beach or something, my mind goes to, what systems can I make better?
Right. Like, how can I use the
you
VA
know,
better?
exactly.
Where can I put AI into my business?
Because I'm able to kind of slow down and really think of like, where are our goals? So, you know, we never turn it off all the way, but that could be something you could incorporate as your goals. So time on it this year, getting the metrics in place for your goals, and we have all of this so we can help out and really come up with a plan on it.
We do this every year. We do this for other title people throughout the nation that we coach, so we're happy to sit with you and show you our procedures for doing this. And yeah, I mean, it's funny, when you go for a run or when you're off on that vacation, all of a sudden you're kind of like, exhale moment, and then your creative side comes alive, and you're like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing this? Keep a journal. Like, type that into your little notes section.
Last week, that was this week. It was Tuesday or Monday. I was like, all right, and I have an idea for Wednesday. We have to do this and this. And he was like, where did you come up with that? And I was like, I think when I was just sitting on my couch, just chilling for a minute.
Light bulb moment.
Like light bulb moment when I was able to take a breath and be like, oh, this might be a better solution. So
it was good.
I thought so.
Okay, so that's a lot, and that was caffeinated people yelling at you about it. So
yelling at you about time blocking.
So you look back to move forward, identify, where did my business come from? Let's identify sources and trends. Let's wrap systems and metrics and actionable items around them, and then let's time block those actionable items. And we are very much in this with you. We screw it up, horrifically so, and then we come back and try to make it better, and we're going to screw it up again next year, and that's just life.
And we're going to figure it out again.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That was us tying a bow on that whole thing, and until next time, I'm Haley.
I'm Ryan.
Bye.
Bye.